Hello and welcome back to the Collegiate Chess League Spring 2024 season presented by SIG. This is week 7 of Division 2. We have Brown University versus Yale University, a couple of Ivy League matchups here. This is a rivalry match. This is the last week of the regular season. My name is Joe. I'm the commissioner. Let's dive right in. We've got round 1 already underway. Here we've got a Grandmaster, Board 1, Andrew Hong from Brown University, taking on Board 4, National Master Siddharth Arun. So 3,087. That's a pretty high rating, especially here in Division 2. Brown University, I think, probably just a player away from making D1. I think maybe they could join in maybe next season, but for now, they're competing here with Yale, who used to be in Division 1 actually, and Division 1 just got stronger this season, so they're down in D2, but a strong team nonetheless. They're led by their top board, also another Grandmaster, Nicholas Cheka, speed skater here, GM at 2,900. So this is going to be a fun match. He's playing board 4 right now. This is round 1. Jason Covey, no title, but over 2,100. So still a strong player in his own right, but definitely the underdog here. Cheka with the black pieces. Looks like his king is a little exposed, but black has this semi-open G file to work with. So we see a call move, C3, and perhaps wanting to bring this bishop over this way and threaten a checkmate, but this can be defended with a pawn push. But this knight can now be used to attack this bishop, which used to be defended by the pawn. Maybe the bishop will tuck back, and this position is probably just a-okay for black. And the computer wanted bishop f4 actually. I couldn't tell you why, but this is definitely a very natural move. It's like a sideways fianchetto. Anyways, white brings the other rook in, and now bishop to b7. Opposite the king, main diagonal. We have bishop pair here for Cheka, and now he's going to simply double his rooks on this g file. So Grandmaster's looking good here in round 1. Yale has their board 2 here, Lyndon Lee, also known as Infinity Point. This is Alice Lee's older brother, actually. And board 2 for Yale. So a strong chess family they are. This bishop wishes it was a rook, because that'd be fun. Although I guess there's a block. But anyways, the position, pawn push. This opens up the queen to defend the knight. The threat was to take this pawn. This pawn was overloaded defending the knight. And h3, so we see the queen now aiding in the defense and taking some space away from black's pieces, pushing in the center. Ultimately, black has a doubled pawn, and white has 4 on 3, but I think black might have a bit more of the initiative. Better pieces here for black, already just threatening checkmate in 1. And if you push the pawn, well, you're going to lose this. So knight h4 might be the best move to bring in perhaps the queen, but if you go queen g3, not only is this a fork, it's also a discovery, so not very easy to defend. If we go here and push the pawn, don't forget there's also knight takes with check, taking advantage of the pin. So Lyndon looking good here against the board 3 from Brown, Alquaca. That is Omri Bernier Phillips. Also not titled, but 2340 probably could be titled if you wanted to go for it. Anyways, we have one other game that we haven't quite looked at yet. Black doesn't go for h3 check, curiously enough. This pawn is defended as well by the bishop, so sacrificing here might not be the move. We could see the king step up. You could get checked again along this pin, but then you can get to h2, and the sacrifices don't seem to be working. Instead, we see the king go to f1, ask the knight, where are you going? So the queen steps in to defend, but can't help but feel that Lyndon missed an easy way to trade down and simplify, winning a pawn. So queen in, defends the knight, main purpose. We could see a queen trade offered and try to keep this knight trapped, which would be interesting instead. Ooh, check, and the king can take. So this is not mate. Would be close to it, but no, just asking the queen a question. Where are you going to go and keep defending this guy? So the answer, one of these 3 squares, I presume. Wow, we already have a result. Speed of light. This is Andrew Hong. Not to be confused with Andrew Tang. I'm looking at you, Kramnik. A recent tweet went out accusing Mr. Tang of some good results in Title Tuesday, but in fact he did not play. But we see Speed of Light just grabbing material, and with the Speed of Light, really, yeah, he still has about 5 minutes, and that skewer is all Sid could take. So he resigns. We are missing Maxime Yaskolko, the captain for this Yale team, versus number 2 from Brown. Let me see if I have that game now. Not seeing it. So maybe we stick with Speed Skater. Point number 1 goes to Brown, Andrew Hong. Let me try to follow Sir Firewoods. I don't see him. Maybe didn't set his clock for daylight savings. Perhaps. Oh, no, we have it. It just started late. So this is 1E410. Not to be confused with Papa Pizza, who I think used to have this username, or some variation of it. This is Robert Shlyatenko. Definitely butchered that, so I apologize. But, okay, we had another result. So Cheka wins his game up a queen, so that's pretty good. Where did that happen? Yeah, queen got trapped here for Jason. So the Grandmaster is getting the job done on the top board. 1 point for each team. Here now, we saw this queen trying to defend this knight, getting kicked around a little bit. And at this point, yeah, this was not a good move. Knight d2. And once the queen goes back, queen d3 looks like a trapped piece. Or am I missing? Maybe queen here. Maybe see a sacrifice, but no. Knight back. Just trying to be a little annoying, it seems. So, yeah, Linden. Linden was looking good. He could have taken on h3 with check, you know, his queen on the g-file. Instead, he goes for knight to yeah, e2 check. And now his queen's getting harassed, tied down to the defense, and that's not really how your queen wants to play. Here, and now queen c4. Queen c4, and say goodbye. You have to give up the knight for a pawn. Here allows knight c1. Okay. Queen to c4. Ah, and that allows queen c7. Wow. I mean, I even saw queen c4. I saw knight c1, but yeah, Linden bailing out his knight on c1. What a masterclass of defense. Okay, so Linden now bailed out, frankly, by suboptimal play here from Omri, also known as Alquaka. Saves the knight. Linden, though, still, I think about that missed opportunity. He could have taken on h3 and been up a pawn. So Linden's got to fight back again. But Omri, low on time, 20 seconds. Linden at 30 seconds. Knight coming back, declining the trade. We see white taking space, putting pawns on the light square. This, can we take with the king? Was king takes a move? Probably not. You get into a discovery, I guess. But, yeah, knight c4 would have won the knight. So, Linden gives up his doubled pawn to isolate and double white's pawns. So, giving up a pawn there. Alquaka up in material at this point. Both sides less than 20 seconds. Looking for that bishop trade. Absolutely not. Declined. Attacking the f-pawn. Pawn pushes. Now maybe the G3 square is available for black to give a check. Knight hits the bishop. Bishop moves forward, and now the knight gets hit by the pawn. Bishop going after, or the knight going after the pawn. Bishop hit here. Pawn push. This cannot be good. King up to e6. Linden winning material. Yes, if king takes, we take. So bishop here defends everything. The bishop moves. There goes the d pawn. So Linden gets the material back and with the better structure. Both sides still low on time. King defending this. Knight on an absolute outpost. Comes back. Wants to get closer to the center. All the pressure on f4. This is going to force some trades. f5. Push. Good move here from white. Ruining this structure. And they're picking up this pawn. Taking here first. And a check. In between move. Takes. This should be all drawn. Here attacking the knight. Defending the knight. But now g5. g5 played. Found by Linden. Lots of pressure. You can't defend everything. Linden's pushing. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. You got to move. Bishop takes f4. Keeping the pawns together. That's a check. King moves. Knight back. Looking to corral the b pawn perhaps. Knight check. King is over. This pawn is hanging. If you move, there was a discovery. So the pawn pushes to save itself. But now black with 2 connected pass pawns gives a check. Knight is hit. Knight goes to c1, going for the b pawn. And how do you proceed? Well, there's one check. Trade, and now we're going to trade these off. But look at this. f4 with the fork. Oh, and he takes it. He's hoping for a draw, but look at this b pawn. That's going to do it. Pawn push for a little bit, but then reality set in. The king running back, and with this setup, there's never taking the pawn. And there's never taking the knight because then the pawn promotes. So what a win from Linden. Absolute roller coaster game here to start. What a fight from Omri. Hoping for stalemate here. But Linden, he's going to get the opposition and queen. And that'll do it. So big point there from Yale. Board 2. Hard fought, but getting the job done in the end. And here we have Robert versus Maxime, board 2 versus board 3. International Master, 29-45. Honestly, Brown might have the stronger top 2 boards, but Yale, I think, has the more balanced team. Maxime here at 25-50, and Sid, National Master on board 4. So this is an even matchup. Strong teams here in Division 2. And potentially looking to join D1 next season. I want to look up how these teams are doing actually so far this season. I think Yale might be the favorite. Let's see. Yale lost. No, Brown lost to Georgia Tech in overtime. Their only loss of the season so far. We watched Yale beat Georgia Tech. Yale has not lost yet. So Brown looking to give them their first loss. 6-0 start for this Yale team. Yale's closest match, 8.5, 7.5 win against Athens B team, who we watched their A team have a huge upset win against UT Rio Grande Valley earlier this morning. So that was a big one. All right, so queens are traded off. Knight, and look at all this material attacking f3, also hitting the rook. Rook steps up to try to defend, but you've got, what, 2 defenders, and now your rook's trapped. Rook h5 maybe. And now knight h takes f3. Save the knight. Take a piece. All right. And now look at this bishop about to just completely open up. This bishop is a defensive piece. Here now we can take again. Knight takes, and now there's no taking back because now you just won a pawn. So black, lots of play here. And perhaps looking to just crash through. Computer wants rook b5. This makes sense now that you pointed out. Taking a pawn with tempo against this bishop. But then maybe you'll get skewered. And that's what white didn't like. You had to give up the exchange there. So king steps up, and the computer wants knight e1 check. That's just a huge fork. Both players missed this. But d5 was my idea. Very sensible. Trade, bishop takes. Still not going for this fork, which was still best. But now, discoveries. So I would play king f1 low key, or maybe high key. But the problem is these rooks. So that's what Maxime played. The computer likes bishop to d3 best. A nerve-wracking move to have to make. Here, knight d2 should be good. It also likes bishop to c4. Yeah, this, I mean, yeah, bishop c4 played, pinning the knights, and then rook takes is going to win material. Oh boy. All right. Bishop d1 might be played. Nope. Wait. Yeah. Knight d4. Rook takes. Mate. Yeah. All right. Robert. Big point for Brown. Board 2. So the top two boards for both teams getting the job done. So it's tied up 2-2 here. Going to round 2. And it's beginning. Cheka versus Alquaca Omri. It'll be really fun to watch Cheka in the last 2 rounds. And that's going to be a huge result if he can get points for his Yale team in the second half of this match. Andrew Hong and Robert Shlyak-Tanko. The 1-2 punch from Brown. GM and IM. Both over 2,900. And yeah, it's going to come down to how well Yale's lower boards can do against Brown's lower boards. Slinksome, thanks for the follow. Welcome. So Cheka with the white pieces now. Looks to be comfortably set up. His opponent, though, has gained time on the clock from the start of the game. There's that 2-second increment. This is a nice pen. Queen steps out. Knights are connected. White wants to play in the center, exactly. e4, threatening e5, winning a piece. So we're going to see a trade, or we're going to see a knight move, or probably both. Somehow the computer actually wants to take on e4. Wait, what was... Never mind. That made the most... All right, so obviously this is coming, right? Computer likes c5. So if pushed, then there's takes. Which actually doesn't really make sense to me. What was this line? I turn the Explorer on. If this C takes D, E takes, queen to B8. And if we save our knights, then the rook wow, that's deep. Okay. Computer knows best. But that was not played, certainly. Bishop moves out of the fork. Knight moves. We see the rook coming to the F file. Cheka up on time early on here. Let's check on Andrew versus Maxime. Andrew Hong with the white pieces. So the top board's with white here in round 2. This was apparently a Dutch defense. D4 and F5 from Maxime. Bringing the knight in, winning the bishop pair, castle, and now Andrew just launching the h-pawn, attacking the king. So annoying a thorn in black's side and probably going to castle long. So opposite color or opposite side castles, always fun. Lots of pawns on light squares for black. So important they have the bishop, the dark square bishop, to cover these holes. This pawn very annoying though for sure. All right, I am getting moves in that aren't being played. All right. Okay, what the heck is this? Bishop, yeah, pawn push threatening the fork. Bishop here, queen check, and assuming knight c3, but no. c3 saying queen takes pawn, queen takes with check, sorry, queen takes bishop, and now b4. Taking advantage of this pen. Your brother used to go to Yale? Nice. Did he play on the chess team? So here I thought maybe knight takes was good. He was not on the chess team. Okay. Knight takes, I guess we have queen takes with mate. So, yeah, there's no bishop takes because then there's queen takes. These grandmasters, they have some tricky openings. So Maxime temporarily up a piece, but he's going to have to give it back somehow. And how? This bishop has no moves. Knight takes here is probably a threat too. But then maybe there's knight here. But then maybe there's knight here. Oh my goodness. It's too complicated. Maxime. 1 minute, dude. 1 minute to 4:48. Ugh. And the 2-second increment's so deceiving. It makes you feel like you can think this long. But queen back. Now you can take on c5 with the tempo. 1200. Well, Yale has multiple teams. So Yale does have, let me actually, I could show you the roster list there. So Yale has a D team whose average rating is 1400. So yeah, your brother, if at 1200, he would be like their third lowest player, but still. Anyways, let's keep an eye on what's happening here. So rook hits the queen, trades, knight in, bishop out, queen opens up here. This queen's very tied down. Rook h4, best move. He's going after this, saying, please, please, try to take my pawn and defend, because I'm going to mess you up. Lord knows what's happening to this king. But Maxime, he's finding the best defenses. There's this move. Maxime's just low on, look, 15 seconds to 4 minutes and 8 seconds. It's just unplayable. Lyndon Lee gets a big point against Jason. Here now, and apparently the move is rook d4. Absolute beast of a move. Oh, rook d4. If pawn takes, the queen's going to take with a mate. Look at how the rook just went straight up the board into the game, utilizing every trick, every square. Absolute masterclass right here from Andrew. But Maxime, he's holding on by a hair. Only 8 seconds. Pawn push to distract the bishop. And now e4. He needed this when the rook was here. But now there was bishop takes, and now the move is... No way. No way. Oh my goodness. Does he see it? This is a big blunder. Bishop takes was needed. Oh, wow. These tactics. Oh. Maxime missed this, and Andrew Hong does not. He finishes with an absolute picturesque knight sacrifice back rank checkmate. Unbelievable finish to that game. What a game. Ugh, that was brutal. All right, well, Andrew Hong, strong start, 2-0. Linden going 2-0. Good results for both of those players. And now we have 2 games left. We have Yale's top board working on Omri. Cheka's got 2.5 minutes to 16 seconds. And look at these pawns marching down the center of the board. Knight comes back with a check, a fork perhaps, but bishop's got to move. Knight's under attack. Knight can just go back. Now the bishop can go here, and then we're going to trap that pawn push. Now the knight can move. No, sacrifice instead, lining up discoveries. That's a check, so that's annoying. If you go back, you're getting checked again. Doubling on this. Maybe bishop here, but maybe not. So Omri putting up resistance. Bishop tucks back, a check. King to the corner. Pressure on this guy. Less than 10 seconds here for Omri. Knight supporting, opening up for the rooks. Knight f7 was such a tactic. Beautiful, beautiful play. Rook h4 to d4. I mean, marvelous. Marvelous. Maxime defended as best as he could for as long as he could. And in fact, had an opportunity after c4, e4. All Maxime had to do was to bishop take c4, and the bishop was back in the defense. Instead, in time pressure, he brought the knight in, and unfortunately missed the knight f7 back rank mate. So, yeah, and I think if there was a queen block, there was another queen check for mate. So, yeah, I mean, just absolutely brilliant game. That one's going to hit a highlight reel for sure. All right, look at this fork. Absolute fork right now. Cheka, he was up in exchange. Wait, no, he was up 3 points of material. Okay, so it's a bishop pair versus 1 rook. Cheka's still in the driver's seat for sure. Going after this pawn, he can push here if the rook tries to defend. So rook takes, and now all he needs to do is take here, or maybe he put like this is some counterplay. Definitely still favorable. Cheka slows down. He puts on the brakes, but he flags his opponent anyways. Too many threats. What was the best move? The best move was rook takes, threatening just g7 immediately with check and discoveries. So rook takes was the move. But Cheka slowed down, playing bishop to d5, defending, and this apparently allows for the move rook to e6 for the best defense. Give up the exchange back and be down a piece. All right, one last game in this round. Cheka goes 2 for 2. So 3 players, 2 for 2. Yale up by 1 right now, but It looks like Sid is going to get his second loss to Robert here, board 2 from Brown. So up not only an exchange, but also a pawn. That's going to be the key difference maker. Probably could have sacrificed, but no need. Let's see, he can pin it. No, just bring the king in. Very, very simple chess here. Yeah, resigns. So top 2 boards for both teams are perfect so far in the first half. This second half is where it's going to get interesting. We have the top 2 boards versus the top 2 boards, and the bottom 2 boards versus the bottom 2 boards. So this is going to be the difference maker. Here we have board 3 captain from Yale, Firewoods, Maxim Yaskolko, going after Jason Covey, board 4 from Brown. Now, this is where I think Yale has a slight edge, these lower board matchups. Sid, National Master, hasn't gotten a point yet against the top 2 boards, the IMGM 1-2 punch combo from Brown University. So I think Yale's going to get some key points here, but the question is, can Lyndon and Nico defend and even succeed against the top 2 boards? Andrew Hong, who we see playing here against Lyndon now. Alice Lee's older brother. Alice Lee, one of the most famous prodigies in all of chess right now. And we see pawn on c4 given up, but now a check. So was this just a miss from Andrew Hong? Wow. This is really big for Lyndon and for the Yale team as well. Really just thought that pawn was free, I guess. I'm not sure. Queen a4 check, fork, pawn block, and now the simple queen takes c4. Nothing else. Lyndon takes. And yeah, Lyndon's going to enjoy the piece advantage for sure. This bishop behind a development. Speed of light. Let's see if he can play with the time odds, or the piece odds, I should say. But yeah, that is a uncharacteristic miss, a blunder from the Grandmaster. Maybe a little too carefree in this. So it's all pressure on Lyndon. How to play from here. Puts the bishop, wants that trade. Andrew declines, develops, prepares for castling, a very sensible move. We see a trade in the center. And now perhaps a pawn push for whites to get this bishop involved. So g3, looking for the fianchetto. Now e5, attacking the bishop. Where else? We have to go back. And then d5, actually, it looks like Andrew's getting that piece back, believe it or not. So g3, quite the mistake here from Lyndon Lee. He needed to play perhaps e4 to get the bishop out and guard against d5 pawn breaks. So unfortunate. And just like that, you lose a piece, and 2 moves later, he wins it right back. This is back to an even playing field. Lyndon just has to not get too down on time. He's got to just put the bishop back on e3, or sack here is fine too. So at the end of the day, he is up a pawn, potentially threatening to win another. Would you take this? It's maybe risky. Maybe. Probably just go here and try to get castled. So, yeah. Andrew loses a piece, and he says, you know what? I'm just going to keep playing. I'm going to keep moving on. And lo and behold, Lyndon gives the piece right back, but it costs him more time. So under 3 minutes for Lyndon. Still up a pawn. Rook to d1, pinning the bishop. Queen steps aside, trying to attack the knight. So we have knight takes, bishop up, pawn here. Yeah, this is his whole thing, man. He's like, sure, maybe I'm down, but I have Really good speed. Playing at the speed of light here, apparently. Rook up, defending. Honestly, there's a lot of tactics with rook takes. Rook takes, bishop takes. So look at how Andrew's pieces just absolutely coming together. Knight to c4. Say goodbye to your b pawn, or an exchange, or both. Seriously, marvelous counterplay. Speed of light, just constantly. Foot on the pedal. Pressure from down a piece. Still down in material, but nah, this is going to be it. Rook takes b2. Queen back. Bishop takes, rook takes. And then the knockout, queen b4. Everything is just coming together. Oh my goodness. Here now, rook b1. Say goodbye. That's it. Unreal. From move 8 down a piece to move 23 resignation. Holy smokes. Yeah, Lyndon, first loss of the match. Andrew making him look like an amateur. Unfortunate response there to winning a piece out of the opening. So great start to that game, but never even castled. All right, let's come back to this game maybe. Okay, still even. King on a G file. That's crazy. Okay, is that another pawn? Or what's going on? Maybe the check, and maybe our bishop's hanging. So queen back to f3 looks to be the only move to hold on to this. Goes here, now queen e4. Missed that. Yeah, Maxime going to get some points. So that's good. Let's check on Sid. Sid doesn't look to be doing great against Omri. Both players 2,300. So let's check on this top board, Yale. Cheka. Checking on Cheka versus Robert. So Brown with the first lead. They're up 5-4. 3 games left in this round. Both players just under 4 minutes. Cheka with the white pieces. He's got a connected pass pawn here. And kind of an open king, but frankly, the center's very closed. So that's why we see a4 looking to open up some queenside lines. And black says, nope, your a pawn is going to be stuck there, but this opens up a new avenue. White immediately puts pressure on the b file. Pawn push. Black just wants to go at this king. This queen and rook both defending laterally. So queen and rook defending laterally this way. Some symmetry in this position. Knight in, a beautiful piece. And if knight takes, probably pawn takes. Yep, and now that's going to be an open G file that white can work with. Frankly, very closed position here. I would not be surprised if white throws away the D pawn. Rook's doubled. Again, going after this B pawn. Keeping pressure, keeping the queen tied back. I'm thinking rook here. I don't know if you'd give up both rooks for a queen. Maybe. But maybe not. Yeah, best is to do it. Rook b6. I would maybe consider this as well. But now this pawn is pinned, so the push of the f pawn was a threat. So the queen says no thank you. Going back here. Computer did like this best, by the way. Would have been an interesting endgame. But perhaps, yeah, just too many weaknesses for the pawns, and white would just get some strong passers. Queen steps back, opening up the defense of this rook. King leaves the G file. King up, more defense for the B pawn. I wonder if we can try to get our queen in to B5. Like, okay, this maybe just trying to triple up on the B file, which makes a lot of sense. You don't really want the king defending this. Here, pressure on the G pawn, keeping the queen at bay. We have some more results coming in. So Sid loses to Omri. Big point for Brown. So lots of pressure now on Yale. They're down by 2 at this point. Is Maxime doing well? Yes, he is. So here, the move knight e3. That's called a fork. Now, of course, this rook is hanging too. So after king e1, the move then is rook h2. Pressure here, pressure here, pressure actually here. So check coming in, king e1 forced, only legal move. Bishop pins the knight. So looking for this check. Of course, the rook is hit. Computer, for whatever reason, wants to this, but that is not a good move. If you move this guy, yeah, the check is gonna win the bishop. So rook up, knight back, guarding this, threatening checkmate in one move. So the king has to move. Or we have to push our pawn. King back, bishop takes. King takes, rook check. If king here, that's GG. So king f1, only legal move that doesn't blunder mate in one. Rook check is the skewer. Really nice technique here from the Yale team captain. So he brings it back within one. So the board threes, beating the board fours. And now it's all on Cheka to tie it up. They've traded queens. But this is looking good for Robert with the move h3, threatening to bring in the rook. So, yeah, we see rook back, pawn takes. If the king were to take, rooks are going to double. So, white brings the rook around. And a draw here would be great for brown. Taking Cheka down with a draw, if I could call it that. But yeah, this is just a really good position here for black. Up a pawn, an annoying pawn, and just the pawn structure is a little bit better here. Whoa. Rook back up. Huh. Yeah, and if you take on g2, then that rook on h1 activates, getting behind the pawns. So white's just kind of trying to put up a fortress. But unfortunately, this trade now forces the king to take, rook h1, king takes, and now this rook is a sheep, a wolf amongst sheep, the pawns being the sheep, the rook being the wolf. The wolf's gonna go to town on these pawns. So we see the D pawn check, king takes the B pawn, but look at these guys. Look at these guys. White's trying to activate, but too slow. Too slow. This guy is a little too fast. Wow, not even getting a draw. Resigns, and Brown takes down Nico Cheka, top two boards, going 3 for 3. So this match would be tied if Sid beat Omri or if Nico beat Robert, but we don't see any of that. Brown's up by 2 now. So huge round for Brown. 3-1. Yale only getting a point from their captain, Maxime. So, and yeah, Linden, a collapse after winning a piece. That would have been also an equalizer for their team, but Andrew Hong just proving to be too strong. So Sid now, board 4 from Yale, kind of needs to win this. National Master versus Jason Covey. This is where Yale can make up some points, but their top board, Cheka and Linden, both losing in that last round, that could be the difference maker in this match. So Yale undefeated so far. Brown only losing once in overtime to Georgia Tech, looking to take Yale down and potentially passing them in the standings because Yale undefeated. This could be their first loss of the season. So both these teams, they are qualified for the playoffs and potentially even favorites. So they might meet again in the playoff bracket, but for right now, they're playing for standings and they're playing for pride. These are two Ivy Leagues, Brown versus Yale, and we actually had Dartmouth just join our ambassador program, so that's exciting. Um, we're still missing Princeton and Harvard. We have Cornell. We have Columbia. So we're missing UPenn. That's been an odd one. What else am I missing? I don't know. How many are there? 8, 9? More, maybe? Anyways, not too big a deal. They do have a Ivy League championship. I think Yale hosted it once. Columbia might have hosted it this year. I'm not sure. What's up, Josh? Good to see you. Ivy Schmivy. Yeah, they got some good chess players, though. Not gonna lie. Here we have Lyndon versus Robert. We'll see if Lyndon has a solid game here in his final round after dropping a game up a piece versus Andrew Hong. Here we have the GM versus GM matchup. I blinked and this game's already over halfway over. Look at this. So what is this? A London opening? I don't know. All right, trade takes, and now a6, undermining the defense of the knight. Queen steps up to defend. And we see that trade. Knight hops in. So yeah, overall, pretty even position. Knight back to defend this guy. I think knight here was a threat to try to remove the defender. So the knight leaves the pressure of the queen. And now this guy maybe can try to pose some problems. GM versus GM. Yeah, Robert took down Cheka that last round. So Cheka really needs to get this one. Chess Surf, thank you for the raid. Welcome. You guys are tuning in right at the very end of this match, but we will have another match after this, I believe. I do have to set it up. But welcome. This is the Collegiate Chess League. My name's Joe. I run the league. Appreciate that raid. I hope your stream went well. This is last week of the regular season. So next week is playoffs, round 1. Wow. Peace sacrifice from Robert. And he wants to get in here. So very, very nice sacrifice, actually. Yeah, this was needed to be defended, but it wasn't. Apparently the move queen c4 worked. I don't really know why, but takes. And so Robert picks up a ton of pawns for the knight. Hello, Luke. How's it going? All right, Cheka. Can he put that knight to use? His king is just so weak. Look at this. This king has like a mansion over here. Rook here. Computer wants this. Yeah, rook e1. And life is tough. Rook checking here is probably what's going to happen. Queen steps up, freeing the square for the king. But what's the problem? Check? Oh. If the king went here, that was a fork. Wait. Here, so what's the move that needs to be played? Rook e6. Rook e7 still good. Back. Yeah, this, and it wants this. We'll see. Robert, he's checking. Checka. There, he finds it. Best move. Rook here. And now, where does the queen go? Queen takes c2. And now rook e7 wins a piece. Wins a piece, and you still got all the pawns you were up. So this is over. Andrew Hong can't be stopped. He's going to sweep this Yale team. Unstoppable. He goes 4 for 4, bringing Brown to 8 points. Yale needs to win out the rest of the games 3-0 in order to force overtime, but I don't see that happening. Let's check in on Linden. Any draw would secure a win for Brown. So this game still even. Let's check in with the lower boards and see how that's going. Maxime with the white pieces. He's castled. His opponent has not. So it's possible the Yale lower boards could bring it back. I think it's going to be tough, especially for Linden to beat Robert. Remember, they can't even draw this Yale team. They need to sweep the remaining 3 games, 3-0. So, and this board is not looking good for Sid, who also hasn't castled, trying to maybe attack on the queen side, but just nothing there. Queen and rook doubled, keeping the knight pinned to f2. Wow. Brown's going to win it. Brown is going to win it. Sid is going to get swept 0 for 4. Andrew Hong sweeps 4-0. That is not a recipe for success. Unless you're Brown. Then it's definitely a recipe for success. Knight here looking for trades, looking for forks. Queen steps aside. Beautiful position here for Jason. The Brown board 4 looking for his first points of the match as well. Both these players 0 for 3 going into it. We see this trade. Pawn takes is quite peculiar. I don't know why we wouldn't do bishop takes. But, okay. Pawn push now. I mean, Jason's playing this really well against the National Master. Opening up the bishop. Opening up the king. Just blasting open the position. We see the trade. And now, I mean, you could bring in the other rook as well. That would be a brutal continuation. Bishop takes, queen takes, rook takes. Also good. Yeah. Taking here. Although maybe this... No, this bishop's still here. All right. We see the mass trades coming in here. Attacking the pawn. Bishop here. Defending both. So 2 pawn advantage here for Jason. But White's going to try to get the active rook in. That's a fork. Okay, so the game's not over. Sid is getting in, probably trading queens against a weak king in the center. Not the best continuation here for Jason. So potential counter chances, counterplay here from Sid. And look at that, past d-pawn now. Computer didn't like that too much. It liked to take. Because this way, if we took, we're at least still winning the a-pawn. This now allows black to maintain the defense of all the pawns. So yeah, and the trade simplifies things, makes life easier for black. So probably d5, not the best continuation for Sid, unfortunately. So 30 seconds as well. Linden just lost. So that's the match. Yeah, missed the... I probably should have been watching this one, truthfully. So let's see. Shuffle and then trade. White gets the queen in the center. Beautiful, beautiful maneuver here. Saying, let's trade down into this endgame. And if not, well, guess what? My f-pawn's joining the attack. Your knight's pinned. I'm blasting through in the center. Here, pawn push, discovery, that's a free piece. So the top two boards, yeah, look at everything crashing through on f6. And yeah, knight takes with a check. You're just up a rook. Absolute game over for Yale. So Brown giving Yale their first loss of the season. Top two boards for both teams starting off perfectly 2-0. But then in the final two rounds, Brown's top boards shine through, both getting a sweep of the Yale team. So Nico and Lyndon getting stopped by Andrew and Robert. That is a deadly duo, a deadly combo. And look at this, rook check winning the rook here. Sid from behind, big tactic to get a win against Jason, although Sid is in time pressure, but should still be a fairly simple conversion for him. So props to him to get his first points. Let's check in with Firewoods. This is captain. So yeah, the bottom two boards, better for Yale, for sure. Yale, perhaps more well-rounded team, but the problem is Brown's just too strong at the top. Two players getting sweeps. All they needed was 1 point from the lower two boards, and that's exactly what they got. Omri with 1 point against Sid. Crazy to think that that could be the difference maker. So, yeah, so Sid gets his first point, and Maxime's looking to go 2 out of 4. So yeah, the difference besides the top two boards was Omri's game versus Sid. So yeah, if Sid had won that, then it'd be tied game. We'd go to overtime. But I think overtime, I mean, if the top two boards for Brown keep winning, then they just need one of their lower boards to clutch up. And that's exactly what happened here in regulation. So this is the last round, last game of the match. Maxime just putting on the finishing touches here. Check. 1 second, just gonna flag. No, 2.1 seconds. Blocks with the queen. Queen takes with check. Queen takes rook with check. Then there's a rook block, and then there's a bishop check. I mean, you just trade everything. I like this idea. We'll see if he goes for it. Maybe even like bishop takes was good, actually. Yeah, probably bishop takes pawn. No, the best was rook c8. Maxime did what I thought at first. Like, you're just up a rook, so that's pretty good, right? Yeah, you're winning more pawns. So Maxime, he loses the top two boards, but he beats the bottom two boards. But unfortunately, not enough. His team loses 9-7. So congrats to Brown, giving Yale their only loss of the season, and that should put Brown in the number 1 spot. I'm not gonna lie, but it depends. Actually, I don't know their cumulative points, so we're gonna have to figure that out. So the number 1 seeding probably important for their playoff bracket. So they both, I assume, will not play next week because they've earned themselves a bye if they get the top 2. So, yeah, Brown versus Yale. We saved the best 2 matches for last. Typically, this is number 1 versus number 2, and I think that's exactly what happened. So they likely will meet again in the playoffs if they win in the semifinals, which they should both be the favorite. Then this would be a preview of the finals, which should be April 6th. So that's very exciting. But yeah, congrats to Brown. Huge win against their Ivy League rivals against Yale. But we cannot go just yet, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. We have another match that's already begun. So I have to set up for that. So give me a couple minutes, maybe. We'll be right back briefly. We have another match to cover. All right, I'll be right back. Welcome back. We have the Collegiate Chess League Spring 2024 season presented by SIG. This is the last week of the regular season, week 7. We have a Division 16 match here underway now between University of Oklahoma and West Virginia University. So the games have already started. Let us dive right in. Here we have it. Elijah versus Dusty Duke. Elijah, board 4 from Oklahoma. Dusty Duke is Christopher Easton. Easton. It ends with it. We're gonna abbreviate his name to Chris. Just for the for the title there. All right. So yeah, both these teams, I don't know really much about any of them. Is anyone impressed by Andrew Hong? Of course. That was such an incredible match that he just played. 4-0. Very instrumental for his victory. So they earned it. The greatest collegiate player of all time, says Moist Dud. That is quite an accolade. I would argue, I mean, gosh. For the CCL, I mean, I don't know. He hasn't played in D1 though, so maybe if Brown gets to D1 next season, that'd be pretty big for him. I think they could. I think they're missing like another Grandmaster at Brown. So they could have 3 GMs and an IM. And then their board 4 would be like a 2300. So that's where they really struggle, I think. David Brodsky. All right, well, yeah, he's a strong player. Mizzou obviously has Antipov and Oparin. SLU has Bach, Theodoru, Batsurin, Robbie Kavlashvili. I mean, there's so many top players on that team. Webster, Aram Hakobian, strong player. So, all right. We actually have results already. Sometimes Seen gets a point. That's Sean Corner for Oklahoma. And Toasty B, Tristan, wins on his board. I forgot to update these names real quick. Brody with the huge raid of 1 viewer. Thank you, Brody. Shout out to Brody. I hope you had a great stream. Welcome in. You guys are tuning in right at the perfect time to see the Dusty Duke get a point for West Virginia, who's up 2-1 right now. Hello, Masterfall. All right, I am missing a game, so let me try to see if I can follow. I am not seeing it. Or maybe it already happened. Do I think Georgia Tech underperforms on a consistent basis? Georgia Tech, I think, did well. I mean, they took Brown to overtime. And they don't have any GMs or IMs as far as I'm concerned. Josh with the rate of 5. Huge raid. He's outdone Brody somehow. Shout out to Josh, who's been in here watching. Hello to Chuck. When can I sub, says Chuck. A valid question for one of the hippest college streamers out there. Brody Plays Games. Looking for that sub button on his channel. Because Brody recently hit 50 followers. Huge. Masterfall, thanks for the follow. Welcome. All right. Let's see. Where is this board 4 that I'm missing? Tried following. Where's this team captain from Oklahoma? Not to be seen right now. Wolfer, who I've been in communication with Oh, here it is. All right. Wait, Toasty versus Wolfer. This is round 2. Hold on. Let me look up his previous game. And the Wolfer beat Stone Cold Deadly. So, top board from Oklahoma, Rylan Lopez ties it up 2-2. I apologize, we missed that first game. Clickbait, Joe Bruin raids, and marbles. 3 average viewers first. Dang. Ladies and gentlemen, let's help a brother out. Brother Brody. Get this man his 3 average. Listen, I'm watching on my account. We're going to have to watch on the CCL account. That's 2 right there. I'm going to leave the Brody Twitch stream on for forever. All right, Bishop sacrifice here. Look at this. Bishop out, and now computer likes just knight g5, but no. Has to go for it. Queen check. That's a fork. Why not? What if we started with queen d5? Does anyone know? I guess queen here. So, okay. Takes. So we've won a pawn, but I guess we gave up a pawn to win the pawn. Right here, this guy. All right. Okay. What did the computer even want? Yeah. Anyways, Wolfer, 1800. He might be the strongest player out of both teams. We have all 4 round 2 games underway. Dusty Duke, Chris Eastham. This is West Virginia's top board. Dusty Duke here at 1643. So Oklahoma might be the favorite. I think they are higher seeded, at least from regular season standings. I haven't actually looked at their standings and how they've played out. So let me actually dive in deep and see. So Oklahoma, they lost to the Light Weavers, who I have no idea who that is, and they lost to University of Louisiana. Wait, that might have been last season. Hold on, let's look at this season. Okay, they lost to Chess Blitz York, and they've lost to Nebraska Lincoln. That was a close one, 8.5 to 7.5. So only 2 losses. That's a pretty good record for this Oklahoma team. West Virginia, meanwhile, they also only lost to Nebraska. So this Nebraska team is pretty good. Okay, they also lost to Monarch, which I believe is Old Dominion, which is in Virginia. So the West Virginia versus Virginia matchup, they lost. So both of these teams are tied at 4-2. One of them will go 5-2, and the other will go 4-3. So this is pretty huge for their standings. Hello, Edris. Will the Country Roads take West Virginia home? That is what we're here to find out. Or will it be their Trail of Tears to Oklahoma? It's one path or the other. All right. So Dusty Duke. What a username, by the way. I don't know if West Virginia is in the ambassador program. Hashtag use code Brody. But top 2 boards with wins. Second boards, both losses. Third boards getting the win. Am I Muslim? No. That's a very odd question in the middle of a chess match that we're watching right now. But no. I'm guessing you are, though. Anyways, look at this. Whirlwind here. Chase, Logan, Ella. We have a Caro Khan, a Gambit, the Von Hennig Gambit, which I have never seen before. And Rook takes F5, opening up this fork. A beautiful exchange sacrifice. Picking up the rook in the corner. The knight coming back. Pawn push. Actually fairly interesting, because we're threatening to trap the bishop. And if you take, well, we're really opening this up with this knight here. That's going to be very scary for this king. But the computer says just be calm, and you can play this move, actually, attacking and attacking yet more. Tomorrow's Ramadan. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know that, but congrats. Um, do you play chess? Are you in school? Are you cheering for one of these two teams? And if so, which one? I'm closer to Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a central school. West Virginia out on the East Coast. All right, H3 played, kind of peculiar. C4 now, and this knight might get trapped. So interesting. White just says, I need to get rid of this knight. This knight's too strong. Pawn takes and takes with the discovery. So leaving the bishop on, this is probably not the best decision from Elijah. Still a complicated position. This king's not castle. Like, white's just kind of crushing. Pawn takes, rook b1. And maybe black tries to hold on to this pawn, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, c takes, rook b1 played, trying to get this pawn back. So our knight, or our rook doesn't want to have to defend the whole game. Yeah, here I'm taking. Not allowing that. Or you can take here, actually. Would probably be fine as well. And yes, if bishop here, we always have this check. Is very annoying now that the rook is here. So yeah, king not going castled. Rook takes b2 is very, very calm move. We have a result. Wolfer Rylan gets a second point. Yeah, the knight check, I'm not so sure about. I guess rook here is going to be pretty bad, actually. Rook here is going to be pretty good. But the computer wants to trade queens, of course. Trade queens, yeah. Okay, so simplification. Now black can take us. That's annoying. Now we can take them. We are up a piece, by the way. So not too shabby. I would play here. Just bishop back. Maybe this. Maybe. Here, again, I would do this. That's what he's done. Let's check on how Wolfer closed this out real quick. We missed this in real time. Okay, was this the sacrifice, queen takes, queen in, knight in, f4. Yeah, this is deadly. This is deadly. Here, king g8 is needed. King g8 here, and now e takes, another check. Yeah, poor king placement from Toasty. And look at this. Check, and now the king needed to move to f7. And this is just a mate. Here, apparently the move is bishop to f4. But we get that move in anyways. Check, queen takes, another check, another check, another check, a discovery, and then mate. All right, so let's check in on some of the other games. All right, so Stone Cold Deadly looks like he won some material somewhere. Queen takes, rook in, and that's a free knight. So that was a mistake. Simplifying, trading queens, not good. Rook's doubled, but a very nice defensive bishop here, keeping everything together. So Stone Cold Deadly, going to convert up a piece and a pawn there. All right, we see Elijah still losing to the Whirlwind. Down a piece. For a pawn. Yeah, attacking. This rook is done for the knight pinned, right? So what needs to happen here? Probably rook takes. Rook here, and that's just a free piece. Up a bishop pair is pretty good. I was just about to look at this one. We already looked at that. That's a resignation. So Stone Cold, board 4 from West Virginia, ties things up here at 3 points apiece. Why haven't I looked at this? Wait, this game? Okay, rook and pawn endgame. B3, holding on to A4. Trade. So yeah, black going for the B pawn, white defending, keeping everything nice and even. So white's technically up a pawn. So white is for choice. We like extra pawns. We had another result. I've just witnessed every game not finish. I've been watching. So what? Elijah lost to Whirlwind. Whirlwind gets on the board. So West Virginia with a 1 point lead. Ryan Little, board 2 from Oklahoma, accidentally started a different game and then resigned it. So yeah, waiting for round 3. This trade helps white. Connected pass pawn. King stepping up the board. Maybe rook here. Yes. Here now. Okay, here. This is actually much better than what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking, but look at that. Connected outside passed pawns. This is as clear of a win as it gets. Rook here. Rook here. Okay, or rook here, but these pawns just be too good. Rook block for sure. But okay. Yeah, here push. I don't know. Kind of unnecessary. But hey, look at this guy. Here you needed the rook check. That would have been the cleaner technique. But this is fine. It would have been better because we would have had a queen. But still completely a dub. And resigns. So Dusty Duke getting a 2-point lead for West Virginia, up 5-3. And again, these two teams are tied 4-2 right now. So this will be a tiebreak between these teams. In West Virginia, they have a 2-point lead going into the second half. Speeds of Tibirtia 69. I am not playing viewers right now. I am commentating a match between Oklahoma and West Virginia. Not sure if you saw that, but here I am. And after this, I think we might have another match. Actually, I'm not sure. We will have one later today. In like an hour and a half. I believe University of Massachusetts is playing. So let me see if there's a match actually immediately after this. So Division 1 is complete. Division 2, I'm seeing a couple of forfeits, but otherwise complete. Interesting. And then Divisions 4+. Let me see. Here in week 7. 8 p.m. Eastern. That's the same time as the UMass match, though. Seven p.m. Eastern. Okay. Ottawa versus Sacred Heart. Yeah. Actually, Brent messaged me about that. So probably I want to cover that one. What is that? 7 Eastern? That's 4 my time, though. I'm looking for something. Why? I hate how it says EDT. I don't know. Is it daylight or I don't know. What are we in right now? EST and EDT are different, right? Are there any other matches that I'm missing? I must have missed the UMass one. Yeah, I know today's daylight savings, right? But I'm trying to figure out, like, right now, when I say Eastern, I'm thinking 3 hours ahead of me. So right now it's 2:30. So is it EST is 5:30 or is EDT 5:30? Because that changes things. EDT. So then what is EST? Is that 6:30? There's a Massachusetts game being played. Wait, he's saying 5 p.m. Pacific. What? That's 8 Eastern. Hmm. So then what is this Sacred Heart game? I apologize. I'm totally ignoring this match. Okay. So there's a game at 7 Eastern and a game at 8 Eastern. So probably what I'll do is I'll take an hour break after this match and then I'll be back for 2 more matches. Kind of unfortunate there wouldn't be one in between. I could go for 3 more hours. Just kidding. I don't know why I missed the it needs to be rescheduled. All right. All right, I'm just going to focus on the rest of this. I apologize. It's 4:30. Okay. Yes, you're right. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back to the match. We have a draw. Perhaps an early draw. Wow, a repetition. So, Toasty and Elijah. And what do we have here? Queen's Gambit declined. Trade. Both sides king side cat. This is the draw? Here, 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 and here. Wow. An early draw between these two. These Division 16 matches making the draws look like GM level draws. So Elijah gets on the board, a half a point. A good result for them, I'd say, against Toasty, who's now at 1.5. But a draw is a good result for West Virginia, right? Because they have the lead. So they just need to keep things even. But Elijah, board 4, I guess we'll take it. Here we've got Ryan Little versus Dusty Duke. Board 1 is this Duke from West Virginia. Ryan Little, board 2 for Oklahoma. Whirlwind versus Wolfer. Is anyone going to stop Wolfer at 1,800? So Oklahoma, they have the strongest player, but they also have the weakest player at 1,200, Elijah. So these teams are put into divisions based off the average rating of the top 4 players. So, yeah, right now, Oklahoma, they're down by 2. And 2 rounds remaining. This is round 3. 3 games left in this round. Here and now, this is a mistake because the bishop was defending the knight. So now we can sacrifice our bishop. Perhaps an opportunity to take down the wolfer, and that's exactly what we're seeing. A mistake here from the 1800 captain, Rylan Lopez. Bishop to d6, blundering bishop takes h6. This pawn now overloaded. So computer wants the knight to come back. Or just, just ignore this guy. But I would be concerned about something like this. I guess there's knight here. And then like bishop here, like I don't know. Maybe pawn push. Maybe. So pawn takes, you didn't want to do that. Computer wanted queen g6 and then take with the check. That is a very nice touch to finishing off this game, but no, taking immediately. And now you've given your opponent an opportunity to defend. Bishop back to f8. Wolfer down to 30 seconds. This would be huge for West Virginia to take down the wolfer, adding on to their lead. Rook lift, and yeah, bishop f7. Bishop f7. And here we see another overloaded tactic. Queen can't defend both rook and pawn. So the queen takes on h6. Now bishop f8. A discovery as well. Trying to protect this king. So, yeah, kind of a couple opportunities here missed from the whirlwind here. Chase Logan, Ella. But still, dominant position here for whites. Very exposed king. Very low on time. 19 seconds to 250. Let's see. Let's tune in. Okay, we have Dusty Duke. Top board from West Virginia goes down, actually, to Ryan Little. So Ryan Little getting a big performance, taking down top board. And look at this tactic. Knight takes on d4. C takes. And this check. He needs to go to h2. He goes here, gives it with check. Giving everything up with check. Yeah. Poor king placement. Nice tactic from black. A nice fork. So a bad rook left from Dusty Duke. And Ryan Little, like I said, gets a point. All right. So Whirlwind trying to continue the attack, but Wolfer defending. Queen leaves. Still just so low on time. Let's put the point on for Ryan. That's his first win and a big win, bringing his team back within one, taking down the top board as well. Here offering a queen trade. Queen says, nope, I'm down material, so I'm not trading. We have opposite color bishops. Only down 2 pawns, though. But, yeah, time advantage is too big. Too big, I believe. All right, what's going on in this position? Apparently the move is rook c1. Missed. Yeah, and... Okay. Everything seems to be... Botez Gambit. Wolfer, you have to see it. 2 seconds. 1 second. Don't flag. Oh my god, he missed it. Now queen takes g6 is free. But then that's hanging with mate. What's the move? Queen a8 check. Queen a8 block. Rook takes. King here. Queen takes. Oh my goodness. Wolfer has to see it now. He probably can't believe it. Are we going to see a rook move? I mean, what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my god. Oh my goodness. He's still missing it. How? Wolfer must have pre-moved anticipating the check. What did I just witness? Absolute blundery from left and right. Wow. And, well, Whirlwind gets the dub against Rylan. Top board from Oklahoma. What an absolute whirlwind of emotions that game was. Okay, back to this game. 2-point lead still for West Virginia. That was a huge couple opportunities missed from Rylan Lopez. Not his best performance in time pressure. So here we go. Both players at about a minute. Sometimes seen that Sean Corner looks to be doing well for Oklahoma here against Stone Cold Deadly. That is Harrison Stone, board 4 from West Virginia. So big point on the line. Oklahoma could bring it back within 1. And if Ryland got the job done, well, they'd be actually in the lead going into round 4 after being down by 2. But not to be, as Ryland misses the queen twice in a row. You're not often given one opportunity, nonetheless, 2 opportunities back to back. And yeah, White also missed the queen check. So they brought the rook back, not what Ryland was expecting, and costing him the second opportunity. So that's what happens when you're down to 2 seconds. The decision-making process just goes out the window. And here we see Sean is just up a knight and looking to convert that. So probably you take with a knight, otherwise you drop the d-pawn. Bishop comes back, lining up some discoveries. But phenomenal position here for Sean against Harrison. I would go maybe f3. Probably. Probably is what I would do. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe even pawn push actually is probably better. Yeah, here maybe a little passive, but maybe the knight wants to come this way. When you're up a piece and a pawn, pretty much a lot of things are winning here. That's a nice check. That forces f5. But then, okay, bishop, okay. Here, going after this, that's a check. Okay, well, now that's a free pawn. Less than 30 seconds for both sides. Here, check. Here, take and push. There goes a pawn, yes. But, well, I don't know. Check. Here. We can go here. Probably he sacks the exchange. No, okay, he finds it. He finds it. Rook here. We can bring the knight back. What else? No, this is a weird move. Rook takes is a big threat. We should bring this guy back. Okay, that's a free rook. Is he going to take it? No. I don't know. What are we doing? Oh, no. Okay, what did I say? Pretty much anything wins. Well, we're now in an even position. Dang. Yeah, we let the rook get active, and we're letting our pieces be blundered. Time pressure makes a fool of us all, as I say. F4, finally. This should have been moved an eternity ago. Continue. Yes, here. Now bishop check. Okay, this is still going to be a good move. Okay, bishop check. Why are we pinning ourselves? If we're blocking our bishop now. Rook here is probably fine. Okay, this... I don't know what's happening. Okay. Okay. All right. White's looking good. Oh. Don't push this. Oh! What? Why? We were just here. Oh my god, rook h1? Move the king. Okay. Computer says a draw. Oh, check. Aw. Sean, we got to work on this in-game technique. Watch him lose. I mean, it's impossible. But maybe impossible is too big of a word to say right now. Your bishop, your bishop is now tied to these two squares. You just, yeah. But still, a draw is not good because West Virginia gets to 7 and Oklahoma is still down. So they could have been, Oklahoma literally could have been winning going into round 4, but some chokes from their top and bottom board. Well, this isn't their bottom board. Sean gets to 1.5. Big result from Harrison at 1.5. I thought Harrison was higher rated. I thought that Elijah was the lowest board, but this player is 948. So yeah, a couple of blunders. Yeah, he missed, his king was perfectly placed. He could have pushed the pawn with check. Instead, he loses both his pawns. He moved his king to check with the bishop. But yeah, okay, what is this? This is a queen's pawn version of a fried liver, which, I mean, I don't know if I've seen. This doesn't seem right. Yeah, our king can't go here with the fork. So, okay, queen take. That's a fancy tactic. Toasty knows some theory here. What a beautiful move. Queen takes d5. Knight takes with fork. Queen takes, or take back. Yeah, here maybe what's the computer want? Just f3. That is not a move I would want to make. That's for sure. Yeah, and then they want rook d1 is what they want. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen? Castles blunders this guy. Knight back here. Not where I would have put it. Where would I have put it? Yeah, I guess it's not so easy, is it? Maybe then rook d1 was good. Or best. Or yeah, f3, then rook d1. But none of the above. Knight just saves itself, but now blocks the center. So up 3 pawns. 3 pawns, our boy Toasty, up against Sean. Sean, who had an unfortunate sequence of events in that previous game. Castle's long, and the a-pawn could say goodbye, but perhaps a trap. So bishop doesn't take. Knight comes in with a fork. Bishop trades. Rook takes. And now the nice move, e4, saving the rook. And if you take me, well, you're going to help undouble my pawns and strengthen my center and force some trades and some checks and forks. And okay. Knight hits the bishop. Bishop tucks back. Pawn here is kind of interesting. Maybe the king wants to go here. So what do we want to do? Computer wants h4. I wouldn't do that. I would bring these guys out. Bishop here. Ton of sense to me. Here, attacks the rook. Professor Indiala, thanks for the follow. All right, rook trade. Don't forget about this guy. Yeah, I would take it. That's free. Why not? King here. So probably a3 was a good move. Missed from Toasty, so he gives up one of his 3 pawns. Rook can come in here now. That's a check, but it's covered. Bishop questioned. Bishop tucks back. Again, rook here. Here, I would check. Bishop back is fine. Check is still good. This is round 4. Ladies and gentlemen, West Virginia needs 1.5 points. Big mistake. That's a fork. Takes and pawn takes. Look at these guys. Moving up the board. And, yeah, d6 now. If you take me, well, I'm going to take you. Love it. If you give a check, I'm going to go here. Bishop back. Not a happy piece. Now we can take this pawn. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Bring the rook in. Maybe here. Maybe support this guy and push. Greetings from Namibia. Hello, welcome. Greetings from the US. Are you a college chess player? You could join the Collegiate Chess League. All right, let's go rook d1. Okay, this move I'm not a fan of. Why? Because we're in no rush to do this. Now this pawn is falling. Still very good for Toasty B. Still winning, but our rook is sat on h1. Our rook sees all the action, but he's not involved. He wants to get in. All right, let's look at some of the other games, actually. We have the top boards going at it. Wolfer versus Dusty Duke. Chris. Ryland versus Chris. We saw Ryland get into some serious time pressure and lose. Here, he's up on time. And looks like he's up in space. Bishop here, that's winning an exchange. You love to see it. You just play for fun. Okay, that's good. Always play for fun. All right, so there goes the exchange. Wolfer up. A rook for a bishop. Should be good. d5 played. Love the center control with the heavy pieces. Knight takes, looking for trades. Knight takes, queen takes. Looking for free pieces. At some point, resigns. Wow. Wolfer gets a big point. Toasty beats Sean. That's a big point for West Virginia. So 6-8 right now. I think I'm missing another game, unfortunately. So what to what versus Whirlwind? Was this a game that I missed early? Oh my god. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Takes here and big time blunder. Bishop h7, Greek gift. Thank you for that free queen. So let me give Ryan his second point. That makes it 8-7, ladies and gentlemen. Stone cold, board 4, Harrison could win the match for his team with a draw. He's got the black pieces. He had a huge point, a half a point, I should say, in the previous round against Sean. Now he's up against Elijah. These are the board 4s. Must-win situation for Elijah to force overtime. He hasn't gotten a win yet. This is his opportunity, his moment. Can he do it? Stone cold deadly, looking to trade rooks. I would not do it, but tough to see where you would want to put your rook. It's even material right now, but black has the outside pass pawn. Here we go. Rook to c1, threatening c4, which would win the c pawn. c4 can be played, but watch out. Bishop takes c4. That's actually a free pawn because you've got some back rank issues. Instead, we see pawn attacking the knight. Give me that bishop because you can have the knight. I'm going to take on c6. And now we both have pass pawns supported by our rooks. It's a race. Still, Elijah has won a pawn. Both players with about 2 minutes on the clock. Can you play c7? The answer is yes. But now black can push their pawn. It's still fairly even. King steps up. Rook in, attacking the f pawn. King to g6 can be played. No. Pawn pushes. King here, no more back rank issues. This guy's on the run. King entering the center. If the king could, he'd teleport himself right here. I don't know what it would do, but it would free up our rook. We have this defended by both rooks. Yeah, this a-pawn. Stone cold deadly. Can he hold? Oh, are we allowing this? Maybe. But then rook takes, pawn push. There's no stopping that guy. The Stone Cold see it. Just don't take. You can take c7, my friend. He missed the back rank tactic idea. Hold up. He takes. And now, is this guy too close? Because I want to get the king over, but you're going to disconnect your rook and pawn. So if we lift this guy, he runs, and our king is too slow. So he goes here. You can still push. He allows the queen. Does Elijah see it? He sees it. Elijah's got a queen on the board. A huge mistake from Harrison. He's going to lose this game, and we're going to see overtime. Oklahoma, they had an opportunity in round 3. And no, Stone Cold, he leaves the queen on the board. Just don't give this check, I swear. I swear. Just don't do that. Okay, rook here. Marvelous move. A marvelous decision. There's queen check here, though. No, but no, he needed to. I mean, he's trying to promote. This is tough for Harrison. A minute and a half for both sides. Yeah, let's see how Elijah convert. Elijah hasn't won a game yet. He's got half a point. So, queen check, and you're going to pick up this guy right here. Right here. Check and take. You can pre-move this. Computer wants this, though. This is a nice forward. Don't pre-move that. Block with the rook. Oh, all right. So no pre-moves there. That's always a good trick. I like it. I like it. Not working out today, though. Elijah, I mean, listen. Elijah could stalemate, and West Virginia would win with a draw. I'm just saying. Yeah, if I'm this king, I'm going to try to block as many pawn moves as possible. And try to get rid of as many. Yeah, G4. I love it. King back. But Elijah is going to have the mate next. That's mate right there. Voila. And Elijah forcing overtime, getting the win in the last round, exactly when his team needs it. We're all tied up here, folks. 8-8. We're going to overtime. So, as a reminder, overtime rules, we repeat round 4, but with switch colors and with 2 less minutes on the clock. So, instead of 5 plus 2, it is now 3 plus 2. All tied up at 8. What's a match we have here. And another reminder, these two teams are tied 4-2 in the season. So the winner moves up to 5-2. Loser stays at 4-3. So this has really big playoff implications for their bracket. So the 3 plus 2 games have started. Overtime is now underway. I see 2 of the 4 games. This one, Whirlwind versus What to What. This is the match of the W's. These players have 4 W's in their names combined. But What to What got the first W. That's Ryan Little, board 2 from Oklahoma. A huge part of why we're in overtime right now. A huge win. So, can the Whirlwind get back in it to win it? We have a queen check. Do we block with the bishop or with the queen? I'm going bishop e2 here. But hold on, you're going to lose the c2 pawn. Well, hold on. If you block with the queen, guess what? You're still losing that c2 pawn. So queen takes c2. Hold on, was there a check? Maybe. Rook here, we're going to pick up the c7 pawn with initiative. So black goes greedy for the pawn grab, and white's going to get an active rook on the 7th. And what are we threatening? Well, first and foremost, we're threatening to throw your king out of the center. But with the queens off, it's not so bad. We're also threatening perhaps a bishop check. Knight here. That pawn's defended, but the bishop comes in big. Missed opportunity, perhaps. Bishop now comes out with the tempo. Castling. It's a good, solid move, but it's slow. Because we have an opportunity to win more material. Didn't go for it. Bishop could have defended somehow. And look, now our rook has to come all the way back home. Probably we could have gone somewhere more active, but like if you go here, we're gonna get attacked. So yeah, now black is out of the center, castled. So at the end of the day, position relatively even, the only difference being these two pawns. White has the isolated D pawn, black has the doubled F pawn. So both sides with weaknesses. We see A3, A6, bishop up to E3. So with the 3-minute, 2-second increment, the games are going to move faster here. So it's still blitz. Pawn push, but this guy's hanging. Fast moves here. Knight in, defense. Again, renewing the threat. I would play F3. Low key. Perhaps even high key, actually. Knight here, a strong move as well. Less committal, for sure. Frees up the bishop. Pawn push and pawn push, very annoying. I'm not going to lie. Never play F3, says Brody, and Whirlwind agrees. So Whirlwind technically higher rated. Let's take a look at the other games. This is the board 1 matchup, a big one. Wolfer getting their 3rd win out of 4. He's got the most points. He is also the highest rated, but he had a big loss where he missed a free queen twice. But he beat Dusty Duke. Dusty, perhaps, chance for revenge here to join him with 3 points. I am missing one of the 4 games, so that is not a good sign. So it's possible a player didn't know they had overtime and just left, which would be bad. So we'll keep an eye out for that one. We haven't looked yet. We have Elijah versus Stone Cold Deadly. This was the big one that forced overtime. Stone Cold could have been the hero for his team, going for stalemate or even a win, but unfortunately wasn't able to hold the draw. He blundered by moving the rook, allowing a promotion, and Elijah won up a queen, using it to checkmate. How's this game going to go in this one? Strong pawn structure here for white, lots of space, and now we see a pawn push. No G-pawn, interestingly, for black. How on earth did that happen? Let's take a look back. So Fianchetto, strong center here for white. Yes, knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes. Yeah, what is our knight doing on h5? Pawn push knight here, allowing for that knight trade, opening up the bishop, and there goes your g-pawn. So, and a rook left, Elijah knows exactly what they want to do, and it's not nice. So, let us see how Elijah converts this advantage. Under a minute now for Harrison. Bishop here, good intentions, lined up against all the rooks. But the problem is simply, I'm just going here and here and say, what are you doing? So king up to h7. This is top recommendation, but still very scary. So if you find that move, the computer saying best is just simply b3, shutting out any counterplay. Why even allow it? King here, and now best move is right here. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a blunder. King h7 was necessary to help lend support and defense to the h6 pawn. Now, bishop f6 renders the h pawn defenseless. And that's exactly what Elijah's done. This is not easy to see as 1200. Or maybe it is. But at the end of the day, Elijah's found it here, and now the knockout. No, Elijah didn't see it, but didn't need to. This is still working. Only move, and this is it. This, GG. Surely. Yes. Elijah, back-to-back win. What? Okay. All right. We find bishop f6. We missed mating one twice, though. Still completely crushing. Going for mate here. Oh my goodness. Just run. Just run. Check and block. It's not over yet. Harrison's finding it. Check. Oh! Both rooks are hanging now. Oh my goodness. You could have blocked. Here. Maybe just, I mean, this is a game that shouldn't be continuing, but okay, hold on. Hold your horses here, folks. Knight takes? Even pawn takes looks good. But I mean, give me that check. I'll cash that check all day. No, rook here. Just trade. Trade, and now, I mean, you get a connected passer. You taking stuff. Okay, this should be good. Probably taking here was better. That's a check. Rook here. GG. Okay. Still good. Uh. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, check found. Another opportunity. We do have one result. What to what? Ryan Little getting another point. Lead now, Oklahoma. There you have it. There goes the queen. This should be just a mop up at this point. Take the pawn. Check is good. Hello, V. Gleicher. You're witnessing the end of this one. I mean, you could flag your opponent, though. Don't forget. Hello, Physic. How's it going? Okay, I have full confidence in Elijah. Let me check on the top board. Dusty versus Wolfer. Hello, Ranash. Sveta's rating. Let's go, Perpetual. Huge. All right, shout out to Sveta. How was the stream? I think Sveta is in college, right? At Ottawa or something. I'm actually going to cover an Ottawa match, I think, later today. That's a free piece. That was huge. You guys are witnessing overtime round here. That trade, that's not free. Oh my God, that's a check. Wow, it's even material now. Queen here, missed the check. Queen back to defend. Any player could flag. 5 seconds, there's increment. This is hanging, that's hanging. Bishop could take. Smart choice. Don't get back rank mated. Queen tucks back. You could have taken the pawn because you had a block. 2 seconds. Queen up. Flight square for both sides. Very important. Queen here. We're going to try to push this pawn. Both sides have a passer. Pawn push. Threatening queen here. Oh, taking. Allowing that trade. Now queen here. There's a check. There's a couple checks. Is that perpetual? No. They want more. This is a complete draw, though. But yeah, Oklahoma was down and West Virginia tied it up. This is Division 16 out of 24 of the Collegiate Chess League. Hello, Justin. Thank you, Sveta. Not playing, but good luck. Yes, but maybe next season. Maybe. All right, queen check, king here. Another check. Yeah, should still just be a draw. Don't check here. Don't check here either. And you can't take that. 5 seconds. Okay, queen defends. Queen check. Maybe I look at another game. So we were just watching this. Mate in 1. Elijah gets the job done. Back-to-back rounds. We haven't seen Sean here versus Tristan. So, yeah, another big point for Elijah. And that puts them up by 2. So that means that West Virginia needs to win the last 2 games. I don't see them doing it unless there's a blunder. A draw at this point wins for Oklahoma, which would be a come-from-behind victory for them, which would be huge. So Dusty cannot play for a draw. Dusty has to push and win. But, yeah, there's the draw by repetition. So that's it. That's the match. Rylan, team captain, going 3.5 out of 5. Chris, top board from West Virginia, getting a draw there, but unfortunately not enough. Their team goes down, but they'll still qualify for playoffs, which starts next weekend. So it's very likely one of these teams might have actually qualified for top 2. But maybe it depends on tie breaks. But yeah, Collegiate Chess League, this is the most exciting time of the year. It's like March Madness. but with chess. Here allows the rook to get in now. Rook up to c6 is going to be annoying. Rook c6 should be winning a pawn. Sean finds it. This result, though, is not going to matter because Oklahoma has already clinched the match. And these points actually don't count for tiebreak because overtime points don't count. So technically, you could have infinite overtimes because if it was still tied in round 5, then we would move on to see. Oh, that's a free rook. Maybe trying to catch a pre-move. You were down a piece anyways. Okay, so Sean. So Oklahoma gets the job done in overtime. Such a close match. Frankly, Oklahoma could have put it away in round 3, but had 2 big losses for West Virginia to take a lead, or hold on to their lead, rather, I should say. But then Oklahoma equalizes everything in round 4, gets it back to equal, and then gets the job done here in round 5 of overtime. So congratulations to University of Oklahoma. They finished the season 5-2. West Virginia is now 4-3 and is going to have to wait to see who their opponent is in the quarterfinal. Actually, not quarterfinals. They have round 1 before quarterfinals. So, yeah. If you guys enjoyed that, I hope to see you all back later. I don't think I have another match right now. I might double check. No, I don't think there is. Yeah, we do have 2 matches later tonight, though. So there's a match between University of Massachusetts and Indiana, I believe. Ottawa is playing as well against Sacred Heart University. That's going to be at 7 EDT, which, let's see. Or maybe it's Eastern. I don't know. But yeah, Sveta's from Ottawa, right? Does anyone know? Maybe she could commentate. Any Sveta fans know what school she goes to? So I will be back in like 50 minutes. So I think we're going to end the stream here and raid. But I'll be back and I have 2 matches to cover. There's this one and then there's another one, University of Massachusetts at 8 o'clock Eastern. So yeah, and that's versus Indiana in Division 3. So that's actually pretty strong division. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks everyone for being here. Appreciate the raid, and I will send you all off to the next streamer. So let's see who that will be. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Thanks, and yeah, have a good one. I'll be back in like an hour.